Okay, so we are recording. So Izzy, I have Izzy here from London, and she's gonna talk about
Hi.
to run ads on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you would need to do a promoted post, and I'm sure you may have done a promoted post, yeah, of some kind before. So you're going into Instagram, and I don't know if you can see that. That's Jojo and I. At the bottom right, it says promote.
Okay.
And you have to have a business account, yeah? So does yours say promote?
Yeah, it says promote.
So you'd click promote. I'm just going to put a small promotion on just so that I can show you what I'm doing. Okay. And then here, this is for coach call to action. So then you go to the next screen. I can't really show you, but I'll chat through what the next screen will show. So it'll show your profile, your website, your shop front, or your direct messages. So you're going to click your website. Okay.
Okay.
And on the left-hand side, it says edit. Now, what I did was I copied and pasted directly my Typeform link to my coach call to action. Now, a couple of my coaches use Dropform, and I basically said, no, don't do that. It's too many options. Like, you just want to feed them straight to that website. When they see your promotion, you want them to click on that, and you want them to see the coach application. Super straightforward, and it gets them straight onto the page. So when I personally do, like, I don't know, I'm pushing for a boot camp, I will literally just have the link on my Typeform for the boot camp, and then I switch it over. Okay, so Typeform I love. Then you would click next. Okay, so audience, you're going to go to create your own manually. Okay. So then you're gonna, I don't know, you're gonna give the name of the audience as the first thing. I think this has changed slightly since last I did it. Then you're gonna click locations, and you're gonna add, so I put Canada, United States, and United Kingdom. Okay, so the whole country, yeah. So United States, I've got United Kingdom there, and then United States. So that obviously automatically narrows the demographic for, you know, the people who can access. So I'll show you the number at the top that it's likely to reach, okay? And then it says it's too broad, but don't worry, because then we move on to the next page where you start to narrow it down. Okay. So you press done, and then it says interests, okay, is the next drop down. So on the interests, I put, so it depends on who you are. Like, I'm a personal trainer, so I put personal trainer. I mean, you might not be a personal trainer, but you might want to put personal trainer because they might be keen to be a coach if it's a coach call to action. Health and wellness, physical fitness, I don't know, holistic health, I don't know, like fitness mum, that kind of stuff. But you want max 10 is what it will allow you to pick. Okay, so just for the purpose of this, I'm just going to click, I know, health and wellness, self-care, and well-being is what I'm going to click. But I would usually click more than that. I probably have 6 or 7. Okay. Then I'm going to click done. Okay, so that's that. Then age and gender is the final drop down. So on there, you're going to narrow the down. I always put age 20. I'm 32, so like obviously it depends on your age, but I put age 20. Although I would say I found that like that kind of age is perhaps a little bit young, up to 45. And then I obviously unclick men. So, well, not obviously, like some of you recruit males, there's nothing wrong with them, but I kind of hone in on the female market because I'm all like female empowerment and all that stuff. So female, and then done. And it says potential people reached 16 million. Great, done. Okay. You give it an audience name. So let's just put coach call to action. Or no, you can't even have it that long, but whatever, coach was probably a good one to write. Done. Okay. And then once you've done that, it's going to come in as the top option. Do you see that on your page?
Yes.
Yeah. So then, yeah, so it should pull through what you've selected. Yeah. Yeah. So then you click next. Okay, and then your spend, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's basically a cursor. So I chose, so basically Claire, who is my success partner, and I were looking at this, and I'd done like small promotions and never really had much back. I'd always done automatic. So this was just something we kind of tripped on. And so budget, Claire tried this first, I will hasten to add. So she put $80 and she did it for one day. okay, which was quite a gamble in my opinion, because apparently when you do a ad, what happens is, and I found this on Instagram, it tells you somewhere, it takes up to 3 days for Instagram to really like hone in on your market. It can take time. So what I did was I was like, well, I don't really want to be getting applications for 3 days. Like that's quite a long period of time. And I'll tell you, when they start to come in, they start to come in, and you want to be hot off the. So that's why I've just done one. Have you got a question?
No.
No. So I put 2 days and I do $80. And for me, that seems to be the sweet spot. And the reason why I'll say that is because some of my other coaches, I was like, right, guys, this is what I've tried and tested. This is what you need to do. This is how much I spend. I know it sounds like a lot of money, but you'll get it back in spades, and remember, you're building your team. And one of them was like, oh, and she said, oh, it didn't work very well. And I said, oh, what did you do? And she said, oh, I put like £30 over 2 days. And I said, and what happened? And she said, I just got a ton of likes. And she didn't get any emojis dropped below. She didn't get any applications. And I've tried a lower price point, and I'm convinced actually that Instagram is a little bit corrupt from that perspective, because I got like hundreds of likes. And when I went to be like, hey, thanks so much for liking my post, they were like, I didn't like your post. I was like, that's really weird. So for me, I'm not willing to try anything else other than 2 days and $80, because I know it works. That's what I do. And then I click next, and then it goes for approval. Okay, sometimes for whatever reason it will take ages to get approved, number one, and it might finally get approved. Okay. Or number two, it will go for approval and it won't get approved, and then you have to edit, and it's a little bit stressful. So one thing that I've learned recently is that if you put hiring in your description, they wouldn't allow me to put one of my coach CTAs up, because I'd put now hiring and it said you're trying to recruit people for a company, and it flagged me basically. So I put, if you go onto my profile, The Fitness Rabbit, you can have a look. I put now searching. And actually I quite like that word, because it's not a case of like, it's searching for the right person, isn't it? So that worked quite well. And then essentially what you're doing is there will be people who will then, there'll be loads of emojis hopefully that will go underneath. As long as you followed that format, you've got a really good picture for your coach CTA, and your Instagram profile looks professional. Like if they go to an Instagram profile and it doesn't look great and whatever, it's probably not going to work. But from that, what you'll find is you might be like looking at your Instagram and going, oh, well, there's only a few emojis. Ensure that you check your type form literally every 2 hours, because the first day, certainly, I find that the number of applications that comes in is a little bit drippy, and then all of a sudden it's as though Instagram finds my market and they just boom, they're all there, and it is quite overwhelming. The first time you do it, you're like, I can never do that again, because it's so overwhelming. What I then do is I read every application. I have a draft email which I'm happy to share. It's kind of prettily laid out, so it's all centerline. It's got my photo in the middle. I talk about myself. I talk about my background, like why I got into coaching and how. So my background was property career. I quit because Arthur had to have a full-time nanny, and it broke my heart, and I went into the fitness world. Anyway, whatever, that would be, how you're tapping into them in a way, as we all know. And then underneath, I will respond, and I will look at their application. Like, truth be told, I will look at their application, and because there'll be so many, I will often just pick out one thing and I'll literally type it. So I will write underneath my photo, once I've said a bit about me, I will put, I love how you this is why I think you could potentially be great at this. And then underneath that, I put I would love to invite you to an exclusive opportunity to learn more about what we do. This is going to be held on XYZ. If you would like to be considered to join this group, then you need to add me at this, and that's my Facebook link. And send me a message to confirm on Facebook that you would like, because otherwise you can't properly track. It's really hard, but you're putting the responsibility on them. Like, you want to make them feel like it's not available to everyone, number one, but number two, like, it makes it easier for you. And then I think that's how you do the coach CTA. But I think what's really worked for me in terms of why suddenly I'm converting these girls quite well is because, one, we run a really good sneak peek. We ran one in San Diego when I was there, so obviously that was going to be a good sneak peek. So we're really lucky there. And then number two, immediately, as soon as they then message me, I voice clip. I never write text in my messages ever. And I'll say like, hey, thanks so much for adding me. I'm so excited for you to learn more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add you to this group, just ensure that you accept access. And so for the one we've just done, I've been tagging them to videos because it's a historic one. But obviously, if it's a new group, you're just going to say to them, I'm so excited once the book's up, I'm going to tag you. This is when we're going to go live. Yeah, and then the whole process. So once the sneak peeks happened, or if you know they've watched the videos and they've come back to you, I will then voice clip them and I will say, I'm so excited for you. I think you're going to be a great fit because of XYZ, relating back to their application. And that takes time, but it's all like people business. So like before, it'd be like the same blanket voice text and I'd copy and paste. And obviously, you know, this takes time, but I'm showing that I've taken the time, and I think that's what's really made the difference.
Yeah.
The other thing that we make all of them do before we'll consider them is at the end of our sneak peek, we say, if you want to be considered, we literally have 5 spots each because we want to ensure we've got the time to mentor you. But if you're really keen, we need to know what your why is, why you want to do this, because you have to have a really strong why, and we need that emailed across. And that, again, has worked really well.
Yeah, I remember that. Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
That's my pleasure.
I'm going to turn the recording